Salutations everyone and welcome to What Mattered, the show where I tell you what mattered in the news this week. And take it away, Gary! Dude, we rehearsed this.
Hello, I'm Tom Kennedy. The voice of SpongeBob SquarePants. And this is What Mattered.
Disney's D23 Expo is going on right now in Anaheim, California. Disney's annual fan convention where we'll be hopefully hearing a lot more about Star Wars, upcoming Pixar movies, other Disney animated films, Kingdom Hearts, hopefully Kingdom Hearts 3, we get a little bit more specifics in that. We have our first ever one-shot poster for the Incredibles 2 movie, so a little bit different there. We also got our first one-shot of Finding Dory, that will be coming out in a couple years, and yes, the first one-shot of Cars 3, the franchise that nobody wanted to continue from Pixar, but they make $1 billion every time they make one because of the toys. So, yeah, they like money. So at this point, it seems up in the air if we'll hear anything out of D23 about Captain America Civil War, but we do have a lot of rumors and supposed insider information about what the movie is divided as far as the cast of pro and con of the Registration Act, as well as, you know, Spider-Man's involvement and what the first trailer might be like. The rumors for Captain America, anti-registration side, is, of course, Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier, which we had the tease of at the end of Ant-Man. Of course, we have the Falcon, and of course, with the exclusion of Ant-Man, we have Ant-Man, as well as Hawkeye, and Scarlet Witch. For Iron Man's side, the pro-registration, we have, of course, Iron Man and Iron Patriot, the Vision, Black Widow, and Spider-Man. Rumor also has it that one of the members on Iron Man's team is actually a double agent for Captain America. So, who's it gonna be? Is it the Vision because he's a really moral compassy kind of a guy? Is it Black Widow because while she does have her relationship with Tony, she's also more recently gotten closer to Captain America? And then of course we have Spider-Man, who in the comics of course switches sides halfway through, starting on Tony's side and then going to Captain America's side. Now, Spider-Man's roles have already been shot and filmed, and we got to see our first ever looks at Black Panther in costume, but if Spider-Man does have two costumes, that would make sense with the side change, because he changes costumes in Civil War as well, where he has the one that Iron Man built him and then he switches over to his regular Spider-Man one when he goes back to Captain's side. But the limited amount of time that he was actually on set to shoot scenes, it doesn't seem like if he switched sides it would have the impact that it would if it was another character like Black Widow. And taking over what should have been Spider-Man's role is supposedly going to be Black Panther. This would collaborate with what we've thought ever since the movie was first announced, which, you know, had Captain America and it had Iron Man, and then it was announced we had Black Panther too. So without Spider-Man under their umbrella, it felt like Black Panther was going to fill that role. So it looks like that deal with Sony to get Spider-Man as part of the MCU wasn't soon enough for him to actually play the role that he should be playing in Civil War, which is a shame. And as long as we're talking about superhero movies, Fantastic Four came out last week. I saw it. It wasn't wholesale terrible, but mediocre disappointment. It was very, very short. It was very, very rushed, and it wasn't what it should have been. But more on that for, I want to say review, but telling you why it's bad in tomorrow's video. But it should be no secret that nobody likes the movie. It only made $32 million opening weekends, got 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think it's a 9 out of 100 movie, but yeah, it didn't deserve a thumbs up. So, with these supposed losses going in the $100 million range, Fox seems to kind of be backtracking on the idea of the planned sequel that they already had for 2017. And the popular rumor at the moment is that they will, of course, not do the Fantastic Four sequel, but to fill that spot, fast-track a Deadpool sequel, which means we would have a Deadpool movie next year and the year after that. After talking about this Deadpool movie, it seems rather obvious and perfect, as I said before, that Cable should be in the sequel. That seems to be what the director wants to do. He knows that the fans would be mad if Cable wasn't in a second Deadpool movie. So hopefully this Deadpool movie is super duper amazing, and we get a sequel, and it's got Cable, and that one's good as well. Not to leave TV out of the loop, The fans got what they wanted, and Constantine is coming to the Arrow. Supposedly, he will have major involvement in Sarah Lance's resurrection when she becomes White Canary to become part of the Legends of Tomorrow spin-off television show. So hopefully this satisfies the Constantine fans since they aren't getting a second season. But he's going to have a cameo. Who knows in what capacity, if he's making a huge part of this episode. But it's kind of cool to see some integration, especially since he's not going to be coming back and this is going to be his last chance to play as Constantine, which a lot of people did like. And he comes into a section where you need to, explain why someone comes back from the dead, and that's a pretty good way to do it. And coming up with a third new DC television show, a pilot has been greenlit for NBC in the TV show Powerless. Now, the plot of Powerless doesn't revolve around a single central hero like we have on the Arrow or Flash or Supergirl or Gotham, but instead an office comedy set in the DC universe where it's an office of like the worst insurance company in the world with superheroes destroying all kinds of shit. Insurance companies are going to be involved, and this is supposedly an office comedy taking place in a terrible insurance agency with not starring any cameos of the big DC properties, but supposedly some smaller ones. And if they're gonna do the show right, they're gonna have Booster Gold, because there's nothing more comedic about a DC-centric office set comedy than having Booster Gold step in with all of his sponsorships and promotions and reality TV shows and being an overall celebrity, because that's just the perfect thing for Booster Gold. He could be good enough to have his own TV show, but if he shoehorns in as an occurring character in this kind of show, that would be pretty cool, along with some other characters. It is in the DC universe after all, so they don't need to create new characters or villains or situations to come up with, but it can be funny and it can work as long as it's the main cast of powerless people in an office situation and it's continuously funny like The Office. But it could crash and burn. Maybe the pilot doesn't get the studio heads excited enough to greenlit a full production run, but we should be hearing something more about that very soon. So at Gamescom last week, Blizzard had a lot of announcements concerning the World of Warcraft expansion and Hearthstone stuff, and then new characters for Overwatch and new people for Heroes of the Storm. One game noticeably absent, once again, was Diablo 3. Now, we have been told time again that there was no plans for an expansion after Reaper of the Souls for Diablo 3, but according to a new job listing, they're hiring for people that are really into Diablos to make something new. So could this be another expansion? I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up. They had only planned this one expansion. I don't know where else they could go with the story. But more content would be great, even though this game is still always getting some awesome support, especially with the Kunai Cube coming out very soon. The Black Ops 3 beta for PlayStation 4 will be starting in this week, and we have some announcements on what will be in that beta. We have 3 different maps and 7 different game modes. We, of course, have Team Deathmatch, Kill Confirmed, Domination. Demolition is coming back, which was absent from the last 2 Call of Duty games, I would say deservedly, because it's a bad game type. Capture the Flag, Hardpoint, and Search and Destroy, which I think probably sets the record for the most amount of game types available in a first-person shooter beta. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that sounds like a lot. I would say maybe probably too much. Also available to play with will be the Weapon and Paint Shop, as well as the availability of 6 of the default specialist classes, and the other 2 will be unlocked later during the beta. So PlayStation 4 gets the beta this week. Once that is over is when the Xbox One and PC pre-order people will be able to play the beta then. In case having one of the strongest Pokemon in the entire universe sounds interesting to you, for you Auras people out there, you can get Rayquaza for free, mystery gift, go on your 3DS, he's there, he's got Dragon Descend, which allows him to Mega Evolve, and we all know just how damn strong Rayquaza is, so if you want him, he is toots free. Thank you all for watching. If you'd like to know what matters in the future, you can hit the subscribe button. One of these comes out every single Saturday. If you have any questions or comments about any of the stories that I mentioned today, leave those in the comments section below, and we can talk about all the cool, fun, time stuff. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.